Hello there everyone, and thanks for joining me at my tying bench once again. And this time around I want to tie up a dry fly. I haven't tied a dry fly in a while, and I just chose one of the wulff series flies. It's the grey wulff. I found this here particular one is I've had more luck on this wulff than some of the other flies in the series, and so I figured I'd tie this one up for you and show you how I put mine together, and hope you enjoy this tutorial. I'll get this fly of the vise here, a fresh hook in, I'll get started for you. Okay, the hook, I'm going to tie this guy on a size 12 TMC 100 standard dry fly hook. And the largest, I tie them, you can tie them from an 8 down to a 16. I usually go from a 12 down myself. Okay, I'll lock that hook in the vise there. And I'm using some Danville 6/0 black for the thread. Okay. I'm going to start just a wee bit behind the eye here, just right behind the eye, and we're going to come back with our thread to about halfway on the hook shank, like so. Snip off that tag there. Now what we're going to do next is come back up towards the eye, halfway onto that thread base, and I'll stop my thread there, at the halfway point there, and that's where we're going to place our wing. And the wing is some brown bucktail, and I already have some in my larger stacker here. I gotta just give it a little few taps. I've just done this ahead of time for time's sake for the video. So I'll get that out of the stacker. Alright. Okay, there's my brown bucktail. We want to measure that up to about the hook shank length. Move it ahead to that point where the thread is, and we'll come around with a pinch loop. Come up and around with a couple, and I'm going to wrap back a few wraps, and if that turns on you, just take your fingers and turn it back up, keep it on top of the shank and snug down on your thread. Okay, now I'm going to take that excess and just trim it on a slight angle there. Alright, so now I'm going to lift up on my wing fibers here, and we're going to come in front and build a nice little thread dam there to prop our wing up, just like so. Okay, now there's several ways you can divide the wing. I'm just going to take a needle here and just hold the fibers up and divide them that way. Sorry for blocking the view there for a second, folks. Just have to try to get these divided as even as possible. Try that one more time. Alright, that looks pretty good right there. Just have a look at that before I do my thread wraps. That looks pretty good. Alright, so then I'm going to come up between there with a cross wrap first. Just simple cross wraps. Just like so. I'll do a couple of those just to get them separated first. Just like so. We got them divided. Now I'm just going to make several figure 8 wraps around the wings to get them propped up where I want them there. Just like so. Okay. Now I'm just going to make a couple right around the base, figure 8s. And then one more cross wrap between them to lock that in place, then pull down tight with my thread. And that should have my wings where I want them. Then I'm just going to work back and cover up those wing butt materials. I'm going to work the thread back towards the barb of the hook there. Okay, so there's our wings. Now what I like to do is take a little shot of head cement and put it in there in between them. Whoops, not that much, folks. Come on me quite fast there. I'll just take a little bit on my needle and put it in there. Just a slight drop there, let that soak down in. Just like so. There we go. And that just, once that hardens, that'll just keep your wings where you want them longer, prop in a good position where you want them. Alrighty. Okay, let's continue on. Next is the tail. And I have some more brown bucktail in my smaller stacker here. I'm just going to even that up. And for the tail I use about half the amount or so close to the same amount, I guess you'd say, as I do for the wing, but about half, I'd say, more or less. Okay, you just want to make sure you have enough tail material to keep the proportions right. And that's the key to dry flies, is proportions, so they'll float good on the water. I want that about hook shank length, so I'll present that on top. Tie that on here. Just like so. Okay, there's our tail. Check it, that looks good. Now I'm going to clip those butt ends to meet where the wing material left off there, where we tied it down. Then I'll wrap that forward, like so, then come back to right in front of my tail. Alrighty, so next is the body material. Now the pattern, the original pattern calls for gray muskrat, natural gray muskrat. I don't have any at the moment, but I have beaver. And beaver is just the same color as muskrat, it works fine. But if you have muskrat, surely use that as well. Or actually any gray dubbing I think will work, will do the trick. So we'll take a little bit of wax, put on the thread here, and we're going to form a noodle. And a little bit of taper towards the end of the noodle we want. Just keep it sparse. A little at a time is better when you're building a dubbing noodle. You don't want to try to gob too much dubbing on at once. You'll find that'll never work out too well for you that way. It's better to do a little at a time. And if you have to add more, it's no big deal. Alright, so let's begin to wrap our body. Okay, that first wrap right in front there. And I'm going to proceed forward with a gradual taper as I go up. Okay, clip out a couple little guard hairs there. Now I need a tad bit more, so I'll put a little more wax on. A little more of the beaver dubbing here. I'm not going to need a whole lot more to finish this guy off. That might do it right there, so we'll come around. And that's good right there for the body. You can see the slight tapers rather that I have on there. And this beaver has quite a few long guard here, so I'm just going to snip some of those out. Alrighty. Now we're ready for the hackle, and I have two medium blue dun hackles here ready to tie in, and I sized them out for a size 12 hook. And I don't know if you've seen me demonstrate this before, but when I tie my dry fly hackles in, what I like to do is strip a little bit off each side of the hackles that are going to be coming down around the shank as you wrap first, and that way it'll tend not to flare out towards the tail as you're wrapping the hackle. It's just a little tip there you might want to try. Just peel a few off each side. Okay, and I like to tie those in on about a 45-degree angle here, just like so. Then we'll wrap those stems towards behind the wing there. Just gradually work towards the wing, like so. And then I'm going to jump in front of that wing, nice and close, just like so here, and wrap back. Okay, alrighty. And we'll just keep wrapping to try to cover up all that. Just going to hold my wings back there and wrap back farther. Because the key to a good dry fly hackle is a nice smooth base for your hackle to wind on. That's another little tip there. Try to keep that thread that you're wrapping there smooth with no bumps. So I'm just going to go back and build that up a little so I got a smooth thread base. And I'll put my thread right behind the eye there. Okay, so I'll grab my hackle pliers next, folks, and we'll do one hackle at a time here. I'll bring that first one down around. Actually, I want this guy here. We'll bring him down. Okay, just like so. Once I get him situated there, grab him with the hackle pliers. Alright, so we're going to proceed to wrap. And I usually do 2 or 3 wraps behind the wing and 2 or 3 in front. I keep my wings out of the way there. Alright folks, now slide the wings back, and I'm going to take that first wrap as close as I can to the butt of those wings as I can. Just graze them as close as you can there. Okay, and we're going to wrap forward. And then bring that hackle stem up, or hackle tip rather, and tie that off. A couple wraps first just to hold it in place. Release the pliers. And I'm going to make 2 or 3 snug wraps. And I'm not going to cut that tip off yet. Okay, so there's our first hackle. Now, grab my second hackle and the same deal. We'll come down around. But in this situation here on the second hackle, we're going to, as I wrap, I'm going to wiggle that hackle back and forth. And that helps to keep the hackle from trapping down any fibers of the first one that you wrapped there. You may trap down one or two. Sometimes that can't be helped, but it's doesn't stop the fish from hitting the fly, that's for sure. Okay, just keep going here, wrapping forward, just like so, until we get to the tie-off point once again. So come up around, same as I did the first tip. Make 2 wraps, like so. Snug my thread up. Alrighty. Now I'm going to just make a couple more securing wraps there. Lift up on those hackle tips and make a couple wraps in front of them before I snip them out of there. Come in, snip out the hackle tips, and one little tip, to use your thumb to steady your scissors helps a lot when you're going in to snip stuff close, so you don't cut your thread. Just use your thumb to steady your scissors. And we'll snip those out there. Alright, so now we'll build the head. Just like so. Alrighty. And if you have a trapped fiber or two, just snip now. You can snip them out now. It's a good time to snip them out. Alright, so that's generally done, folks. Pretty much done here. I have a couple fibers there and they're dubbing that I want to snip out. Alrighty. So there we have it. There's another size 12 gray wolf. I find it's a really good pattern, and it's good to represent those bigger, darker colored mayflies that we have on our rivers. Okay. And like I say, I tie it down to a 16. That works well as well, the smaller sizes. So next, I'm just going to build the head up with a few wraps here, folks. Don't want too many thread wraps there, and then I'll come in with my whip finisher. And we'll do a 4 or 5 turn whip finish on this guy. Bring my thread in there. So 2, 3, 4. Alright here. Just hold that back so I don't trap any of those down. Alright, that's fine. There we go. Snug it down nice and tight. Snip off my excess there. Okay. And there we have it. Done deal. It's a real good high floating dry fly too as well. You put a nice thick heavy hackle on it. Makes it float really well. Got one fiber there I gotta snip out, folks. Just bear with me. Just being a little picky's all. There we go. Okay, and I'm gonna see if I can get a close-up on him here for you without my camera getting blurry on you. There we go. And that's the done fly. Okay. So next I'm going to take a little bit of solar res bone dry. You can use head cement or lacquer if you wish. I just like this bone dry to finish off most of my flies, a lot of them anyway. Yeah, just be careful not to get any on your hackles if you can help it. I don't want to get any in the eye or hook either. Alright, just come in with my UV light here, give that a quick cure. Just like so. And there we have it. Done deal. So definitely these Wulff series flies are good. It's good to have a few of these in your box, different sizes for sure. So go ahead and give this one a try. And the hackle, like I mentioned, the hackle's medium dun. I forgot to mention that you can also use dark dun or light dun. Any shade of blue dun will work on these. I've tied them with different shades of blue dun. Doesn't have to be medium. Just thought I'd throw that out there. So until next time, everyone, I'll get a little more closer up on that guy. I hope you enjoyed this video, and also if you want to see more of my videos, don't forget to hit the good old subscribe button there, and if you have any comments, rather, throw them down below and I read them all. And throw in a like too if you wish. So until next time, folks, I'm going to wish you all happy tying out there. I'll see you all again soon, and so long for now.